The truth they won't tell you. What really happens during 50 Shades sex scenes? Is it just acting? When people look at the movie 50 Shades of Grey, they see passion. A passionate relationship, violent, stimulating sex scenes. But few know that behind the tension on screen, there is a completely different world. One where the actors must place absolute trust in their partners. Where everything is planned in detail like an art performance. Sure, sex scenes in movies are always sexy and controversial, but for those involved, creating them is not that simple. I was part of the behind-the-scenes team on this project, and today, I will tell you things that few dare to say about filming the sex scenes in 50 Shades. The preparation, it's a job. I remember vividly the first days when the production team received the schedule for Christian Grey, Jamie Dornan, and Anastasia Steele, Dakota Johnson, sex scenes. It was not an easy job, it was a collaboration between the actors, the director, the team of assistant directors, the choreographers, and even the safety experts. Every sex scene had to be pre-planned. It wasn't spontaneous, it was the result of intense rehearsal and coordination. Every move, every movement had to be carefully planned, because one fall, one wrong look, or one uncoordinated movement could ruin an important scene. First, the intimacy coordinator would be involved in the rehearsal process. This person's job is not only to make sure the actors are comfortable, but also to plan every move, down to the placement of each person's hands and feet. Everything has to be precise and accurate, as these are not random or spontaneous actions. Dakota and Jamie, despite their strong on-screen chemistry, still need to practice these scenes carefully. Both of them have to know each other's personal limits, and that's why the preparation process is so important. Establishing safety, limits and control. What very few people know is that, when filming sex scenes, actors have the right to stop at any time if they feel uncomfortable. This is part of the security procedures that directors and production teams must follow. Every actor has a safe signal that if they feel uncomfortable or do not want to continue, they just need to signal and the filming will stop immediately. From the director's side, they also had to really respect these boundaries. While it may look like a lot of fire on screen, in reality, there were breaks between each take so the actors could relax, chat, or even have a drink. Every actor was given the opportunity to feel comfortable and maintain control throughout the shoot. A specific example is the first scene between Christian and Anastasia, a very violent sexual opening. Not everything happened naturally. Jamie and Dakota had to rehearse it over and over again to make sure they didn't push each other's boundaries. Director Sam Taylor Johnson worked closely with the intimacy choreographer so every action and line had to be carefully calculated. Challenging scenes. 50 Shades intimate scenes can last from a few hours to a whole day. This is not because they take too long, but because each movement requires time to adjust and ensure there are no mistakes. Each scene is filmed from many different angles, so coordination between departments within the film crew is extremely important. In addition, the actors also face physical difficulties. They cannot always hold a position or a movement for a long time without feeling tired. The scenes require endurance and flexibility, so the actors have to do a lot of physical training before filming begins. This is not only to prepare for the sex scenes, but also so that they can maintain a natural feeling and not feel tired or uncomfortable while performing. In particular, these scenes can also cause mental stress. Even with careful preparation, the feeling of having to show intimacy in front of hundreds of people is still not easy. An important part of the intimacy choreographer's job is to ensure that actors do not feel pressured or their privacy is invaded. To create a comfortable and safe atmosphere, actors and directors must always maintain clear and open communication. Psychological challenges, when you're involved. For Jamie Dornan and Dakota Johnson, sex scenes are not only a physical challenge but also an emotional one. Both actors admit that intimate scenes made them feel uncomfortable in the early days, and they had to work hard to overcome that feeling. "We weren't always comfortable filming those scenes," Dakota shared in an interview. "I think the intimacy between us on screen is a result of trust. Everything has to be done slowly. Jamie Dornan also admitted that filming intimate scenes made him feel challenged emotionally and physically. Although the relationship between him and Dakota is not real in real life, the connection between the characters still requires good preparation and communication between the two. The success of the scene depends not only on acting ability but also on the level of trust in the partner. Director-actor relationship and maximum respect. One of the key factors that helped the sex scenes in 50 Shades succeed was the respectful relationship between director Sam Taylor Johnson and the main actors. She was someone who understood what the actors needed and the limits they could accept. Sam always reminded the actors that every scene had to be done with absolute consent and nothing was forced. "I always made sure that each actor felt in control," director Sam shared. "The most important thing was that they felt comfortable in the filming environment and trusted me and the production team." This is why, although the scenes in 50 Shades seem hot and seductive, in reality, it was a professional working process with a lot of careful preparation and support from a whole team behind. The last shot, the lasting impact. When the film is released, audiences only see the final product, the inviting and somewhat exaggerated scenes. But for the participants, the days after filming still leave a strange feeling. They have completed their work, but the rest of them will continue to experience mixed emotions about what happened on set. The actors also admit that after the film is released, they receive attention and discussion about those scenes, which sometimes makes them feel tired. Although they know that it is part of their job, it is not always easy to face the curiosity and expectations of the public. The truth is never told. The intimate scenes in 50 Shades are not as simple as we see on screen. Each scene is meticulously planned, each movement is performed under the supervision of a professional team. While the film may feel wild and free, behind it all there is a rigorous process that ensures the safety, comfort, and privacy of all involved. So the next time you watch a sex scene in 50 Shades, remember that it was not an easy process, and behind the lights, the camera, and the sexiness are stories of preparation, consent, and the effort to create a work of art that no one wants to hurt anyone. So when it comes to the sex scenes in 50 Shades, look at them with respect and understanding, because there is a lot that you don't see.